1 second. Yeah. Yeah. So that you just heard is the main Squadron 42 theme. Was it the main Star Citizen theme? Oh, I always thought it was the main Squadron 42 theme. Star Citizen's main theme by Pedro Camacho. So you've got basically two major people doing Star Citizen's music are Pedro Camacho and more focused on Squadron 42 for a lot of it. Jeff Sonelli as well. There is another dude, this name escapes me, Darren Lambourne, I think, who also does a load of Star Citizen Sister Universe music. Oh, that's a good point. Let's actually start the stream. Like, show my face. Oh, Hi. Hope everyone's doing all right. Oh man, I feel so much better today than I did yesterday. Physically, like I've had a bit of a bad back. Fitness and health-wise since Christmas been a bit of a nightmare. Okay, it's a very minor middle-class nightmare, but a nightmare nonetheless. So I put on some Christmas weight, felt a bit fat, a bit unfit. I started to try to get fit again. So I got a bit of a bad back, stabbed myself in the finger, so I couldn't really do push-ups, got flu, things like that. So everything's sort of gone wrong. At the moment, I had a bit of a bad back. Still got a bit of a bad back, but it's a lot better than it was over the last couple of weeks. And I had the worst stomach cramps. Second worst stomach cramps I've ever had, because I remember a time when I was sitting in the bathroom a couple of years ago, crying and unable to move because of how exhausted I was from stomach cramps. That was a low point. I can't even remember what that was for, why I had that. But yeah, last night I was like, it's going. I played some board games from my mate's house. I was like, he's like, "Are you going to stay for D&D tonight?" It's my GM's house. We play D&D in the evenings. And I was like, I feel still pretty rough. I'm going to go home and nap, and then I'll come back if I feel okay. And I just got home and died. First time you're catching a stream. I'm just talking about my bodily functions and me. Nothing to do with Star Citizen at the moment. We just started though. That's what happens. We just start a stream. I just have a bit of a rant, do a bit of an update on my life. Tell you what else. What else? Oh, Zin and I are going up to. Zin and I and our partner are going up to Manchester at the start of March. We're going to attend a Bar Citizen there, which I believe is an officially supported one by CIG. It's a fan-made one, but CIG will attend it as part of their Bar Citizen World Tour, and it's just next to their offices. That's why they were sort of organised. I think it's organised by some of the people that I did the most recent org spotlight with. So we're going to go down to that. We're going to go see some of the mates from CIG are going to be there. Hopefully a load of other devs, a load of anyone else that turns up, because, you know, it's Bar Citizen, it's a fan event. So it'd be great to see some of you there. Thriftbot, so inside me, I have a being which doesn't want me to spend money, doesn't want me to spend the business's money. It wants to be efficient with money, hates spending my money. And I've just been trying to sort hotels out. The hotel that I wanted to get, that was 130 quid a night last time, which is still quite expensive. Over £300 a night now. And I have to buy a room for me and Zin, because basically we're going there for effectively work. The Bar Citizen, you might as well say it's work, because then it's tax deductible, right? I mean, it is for work. It's yeah. But it is for work. The hotels are incredibly expensive, ridiculously so. So I've been avoiding trying to pay for a hotel. and we got invited by one of our mates to go down and see June the day before. So I was like, oh yeah, we'll get. If you want to go the day before, we'll go the day before. Forgetting that I'm supposed to buy the hotels, so now I've got to get us another day's of hotel. It's so expensive. It's cheaper for us to fly to Vegas. So Salty Mike is one of my best mates, best Star Citizen mates, and he's top tier within all friends for me. Like he's maybe not my best friend. He's probably potentially in my sort of like top 20 friends. Just because he's helped me out genuinely, and when I was super depressed. So I'm pretty anxious. I'm bipolar, and a few years ago, I had some stuff going on and health scares as well, and a load of shit. And even when my dad was ill and stuff, like he's been a champion. Him and Nubifire especially, really there for me when I actually needed people to talk, peers to talk to as well. Like it's nice to talk to lots of different people that have gone through similar things, but also people that do similar work to you, and just going, oh. So you know, those guys were fantastic. We've been trying to get deals for Beacon or Beacon, and it's insane to negotiate with them. I know, right? The guys at that are doing the Brewdog one could only get 10% off, and I was like, what? I was hoping when I contacted them, said, "Oh, can you? I don't suppose you get cheaper hotels." I was hoping they'd go, "We'll sort you out hotel plot." That's what I was hoping. I'm not famous enough yet. I'm not a household name. That's what it is. Then when you break into the sort of big time, when you get enough money, you don't have to pay for anything anymore. People just give it to you for free. I wish I could pay an exposure. Oh, how good would that be? Oh. Well, we are going to the Star Citizen. I'm hoping to get an office tour at some point from CIG as well in the not too distant future. But enough about me whining. With that in mind, any donations we get in the stream over the next month will go to us attending a Bar Citizen. And if people have got questions that they'd like us to ask appropriate dev members, then ask them. We'll write them down. You can send me them on Discord or contact@boredgamer.co.uk. Got questions specifically, and we'll try and ask them to the appropriate people. You wish we have a lot of VIPs coming, and they don't give a damn. Well, I'm hoping to come to Beacon as well. So Zin and I, every year we want to, and I don't travel very well, but I'm getting a lot better with traveling. So, I appreciate all the kind words from people, and if this is your first stream, hello. If this is not, also hello. So, Star Citizen-wise, how good is it that the drought is finally over? 3.23 in Evocati, although we have no idea when it's actually going to go to sort of wider wave PTU and then live. There was lots of comments in the latest Inside Star Citizen about multi-month cycle, 4 months for something, and it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a spring release, well, which would make sense if it's at the end of March, but also if it's before the end of June, would also meet the threshold of being a spring release. So we don't know when 3.23 is going to be released. We are in the 3.23 cycle, though. They are testing it, and they're going to be putting a load of features in. We know some of the features they've got planned include EVA updates, big updates there, and the overhauled personal or player interaction experience / system, based on whether you want to call it pie or piss pie, whatever you fancy. That covers it. When it comes to interaction, like, so the interaction stuff, I mean, the EVA stuff's great. Flying around, make it look better, make it less janky, great, awesome. But generally, interacting with the game and making that a more streamlined, fun experience, we've needed it for so long. It's almost, it's as important as the star map. It's potentially even more important than the star map, actually, to get right. And this looks fantastic. It looks like perfectly what I want. and it makes it feel like much more of a modern game rather than a clunk game. Because there's a lot of games that go, we're a Kickstarter game, or we're a cool game that's trying to do too much. What's our menu system like? It's horrible. It's a lot of spaghetti. Whereas this goes, you want spaghetti? No. We're gonna give you something more delicious. We're gonna give you some little ravioli. Ooh, perfect little package. So there's nothing wrong with spaghetti, by the way. Spaghetti code and spaghetti systems. Oh, monstrous. Also, if you'd like to ask a question during the stream, at some point I'll stop ranting. I've got a lot of energy today because I've been so tired and so like the last couple of weeks, and now I feel a lot better again. And I just had a coffee. I'm like, I had a Red Bull yesterday. I literally had to have a Red Bull to maintain being awake and stable. And like I was like, when I woke up, I felt dead. I don't have much sugar in my diet. That's one of the reasons as well. Not that that's a bad thing. Good thing. Hello. But yes, I hope everyone is doing well. Good question. Question in brackets. We'll try and answer that best we can. If you want to donate, feel free to. But you don't need to donate to ask a question or anything. You can literally just ask away. I will come to it eventually. Might be a bit behind in that because I sort of go off on tangents and rant. But yeah, the other thing I'm really excited about is when the stream ends, or just before, but just after it ends, CIG are doing a Star Citizen Live that's all about 3.23. Hopefully, you're going to give us a load more information about 3.23. And they've literally hit the ground running with this sort of patch cycle, lots of interesting stuff coming out from CIG. And they said they're going to be more inside Star Citizens and Star Citizen Lives than ever before as well. Things like that. So, really, really excited to get into the year. Now there's actually meat on the bones of Star Citizen's development, like news and information again. If there's a drought every year, why are you not prepared with interviews, panel shows, org events? Is talk of a drought you blaming CIG for your lack of preparation? I want more bored, no excuses. That's fair. I mean, that's totally fair. But Zin and I could have done a load more gameplay. Zin and I could have done a load more org spotlights. We could have been prepared. There's a lot more to do in Star Citizen. January, I'm typically quite lazy. I've just come out of super busy time in December, and then actually life busy as well with New Year and Christmas. And I'm sort of tired. And this year, there was a million things going on in my personal life, and I was ill and lots of other stuff, which made me a bit lazier. But yeah, that's fair. I'm still going to complain about CIG's development information drought, 100%, because I want more, not less, from CIG. But you're right, the fact that I can't blame any lack of content on my channel or whatever, that is my fault. There's a load of stuff I could be doing as well. Thinking about content is hard, but there's a lot more I can be doing that is now much more able to be done in Star Citizen, right? So we can play a load of gameplay stuff. We can... I mean, we still produce over a video a day on average. Every day. We release over a video a day. I think it's like 1.4 videos a day on average throughout the year. I'd like to get that closer to 2. But no, that's sketch therapy. That's totally fair. And I'm planning to do that more. You'll have to bear with me 1 second because someone's at the door. So BRB. Don't know why my doorbell has changed to Nokia. It was tons of board games. It was Lords of Ragnarok, Darkest Dungeon, and some other ones. I don't know, because they were mystery boxes. One of the things I do is I'm a massive board game fanatic, which is one of the reasons the channel's called BoredGamer. It was originally going to do board games. Might do board games on the channel at some point, because they are a huge passion of mine. If I was entirely retired and had infinite money, I would play board games all the time. That's almost all I would do for my social. I'd play them at the pub, and I'd play them at mates' houses. I'd have a mansion that's just for board games, and every week or weekend I'd have a themed board games weekend or something, and board game weeks where we theme stuff like a Cthulhu one, and I'd sort of set dressing everywhere and stuff like that. That's the sort of stuff I do. But I also, as one of my, I say side business, one of my businesses is sell collectibles, sell Kickstarter stuff, trade secondhand board games and collectible board games and stuff like that. I buy a lot of board games, and I play a reasonable amount of board games, not as much as I'd like. I appreciate it, Sketch Therapy. I'm very good at getting my daily dose of BoredGamer. I'm also okay with people asking sort of questions and saying stuff like that. That's like totally reasonable. I am. The thing is, I'm not sure if you're aware. I've been covering Star Citizen for this 10th year of me covering Star Citizen, and I'm quite lazy. The quality of stuff on the channel is not the best editing quality. No disparaging of Zin, but not the best editing quality. It's sort of quite quick, bam, bam, bam. We're not morphologists. We don't get the best shots or whatever. We talk. We have moderately good insights, I would say, about some of the stuff. We don't play the game enough as well and stuff like that, but we play a reasonable amount, just not a huge amount. Like, there's a load more that we can do, but it's rough, ready, and I have one of the best sets of knowledge about the history of Star Citizen's development, I'd say. Like, I keep pretty well up to date with my notes and in my head what is going on with development, what CIG have previously said, and I want to be able to regurgitate that and talk about what CIG are doing and sort of be a news source, bam, 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 about that sort of stuff. And I think that we've helped popularize certain styles, for the better or worse. A lot of channels do very similar stuff to the way we do it, the way I do it. I like that because that's the sort of the information I want to consume in the way I want to consume it. And all the different sort of content creators like Super Mac Brothers and Sorting Mac and stuff have their own styles and their own show types of it, right? So, and that's cool because you can talk about the same information in a couple of different ways. And even if you watch all of them, you're still going to be informed and see it in different lights. Because all of this, when we talk about Star Citizen's development, it's a snapshot of development at the time when CIG give it to us, right? And it's constantly evolving because it's an alpha, and it's based on feedback and evolution of these mechanics and stuff. So it's always quite interesting, and things change, and we are involved, the players, in that. Hello, Commander Fran. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for all the kind words from everyone. With CIG focusing on certain brands of ship, RSI, like on the chain there, will they revisit some of the older ones that really need a gold pass? All ships will get a gold pass. So all ships will get a gold pass and updated to the resource management system and get some balance. And then, again, before the game is finalised, they will get updated again with effectively another gold pass. Gold pass just means updated to the current tech level. But obviously some people use that, and sometimes I even use that to mean a almost finalised ship, right? Bring it up to not just standard, but bring it to a final state. So most of the time when we use gold standard, we're saying bring it up to current standard of tech. So all ships will need that because they need to be brought up to the resource management system, and they are sort of doing that at the moment. And they'll be able to do that faster because of all the teams that are now moved from Squadron 42 onto the persistent universe. I'm hoping to be at BATCon 2024. That is the plan. Zina and I, and almost certainly her partner as well. Hopefully, DC, her partner, will be ready to at least prototype his Star Citizen controllers. So he's doing some control boxes and interesting stuff for Star Citizen. developing that at the moment. I hope they're going to be really successful because he's a genius. He's my tech guy for all range of tech and electronics and stuff. Like he's taught himself. And if I got a computer problem, I'll talk to him about it. I'm pretty savvy computer-wise, but he will just be able to diagnose any problem I have with my website, with my PC, with hardware, with electronics. He'll be able to fix something that's broken and just solder it. Go, oh yeah, I know what that is. Solder something. With cars, genuinely, genius of a man. Come on, boys, going. Oh yeah, he's building star system controllers and sort of helping that. We'll be promoting them on the channel. It's sort of like, hopefully they're good, because otherwise I'll have to shill for something that's shit. No, they'll be good. They'll be good. Enjoyed your organ interview. Will there be more interviews? Yes, 100%. You want to do mongrel squad and stuff. So I will interview a range of orgs for sure. 100%. And you will get, the idea is to get a nice range of what Star Citizen has to offer, different people's points of view about the game, and get the right people to the right orgs, and start a bit of a conversation about a lot of this stuff, yeah? Also, there's going to be people that are like, oh, I hate the way this org does this, and that org can take that or leave that as feedback, if they want to, right? But, so I just saw the fact that in this video that we're showing, they had the interaction system. So obviously that's a Squadron 42 thing. Sort of updates to that. But yes, more org spotlights. I want to get at least one a month. Preferably 2 a month is the plan. I've already got another org lined up. If you felt crapped on by CIG customer service and they refused to make it right, would you stay with the project? It depends. So what I might do, Summer Yeti, because I know they have not treated you well recently, is I would effectively take a break from it. I'd go, at the moment, a bit angry, a bit upset, and I've been treated badly, and at the moment I'm considering like leaving the project properly or not participating in it anymore because out of principle. But I would, for the short time, just go, enough's enough. But that doesn't mean the Star Citizen community or the game's bad, right? The game might not be bad just because the customer service were bad. And hopefully that will get solved at some point. So, yeah. I'm hoping that will just get solved without much of an intervention for anyone. I hope someone will go, hang on. Because they should just go, yeah, no worries. We'll sort this out for you. Because you were expecting to get this. You're supposed to have got that. We'll get it to you. Not, oh, well. Can't do anything for you. Right? Yeah, it's not the game, nor the community. Game's pretty rough, but it's alpha. We're sort of expecting it. I'm enjoying that. And the community as well. Like, you've got friends in the community and you want to play Star Citizen. Just don't buy anything from CIG or, yeah. That's how I protest. I'm annoyed at CIG or I'm annoyed at customer service. Because they represent the company, right? They shouldn't always just gib in all situations. Because, there's going to be certain processes and certain things they shouldn't just gib or shouldn't make right, but they should try and make you feel whole as a player of the game, especially when it's something you should have got, in my opinion. So I think that they may resolve it eventually. I just think that they put you through the ringer and it's sort of just a bit shitty. Yeah. There was stretch goals before my time for Simrig support. Has there been any more info on this in recent years? So we know after Vulcan support comes in, we know that the devs will be able to look seriously at some additional integrations and VR and stuff like that. I know that they have sim rigs and HOTAS and loads of different controllers. They keep it in mind. They've got Game Glass support natively. They've got Tobii eye tracker support natively, and they plan to expand that out further. So I suspect it will be relatively good for sim rigs, and it won't have to bodge them as much, but I don't know the specifics or anything beyond that. What's your opinion on the latest EVA movements we saw? So, you are talking about Oh, there's a lovely, lovely, beautiful Gerald Huckabee boy. This stuff. So, absolutely amazing. Like, exactly what I want from EVA. It's so much better than we have at the moment. It's less clunky. So you're talking about, flying around like this. Shh. Yeah. And your head and camera rotate rather than your whole body rotating. This is essential. Like, this makes everything just so much less janky and clanky, and a ton more responsive. And also combined with push-pull and gravity, then no gravity, and the EVA actually propelling you, and sort of like more of a flight mode. But it's just much more seamless. Just really looking forward to it. What we've needed for ages, right? Less face planting as well. So hopefully less face planting. Yes, I'm really impressed with it. Exactly what I want. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect when it comes out, but it will be significantly better than what we've currently got, and we'll just need sort of ironing out and smoothing, right? So for me, there's a load of animation stuff and delay stuff that they need to get sorted, responsiveness of animations. I haven't got any. What have I got nearby? Oh, I've got a Margol? No, I don't even. What's a Vampire Lord from Age of Sigma, which I was looking to rebase for Warhammer the Old World, but I've realised this model doesn't exist. This character doesn't exist in Warhammer the Old World, so I'd have to make it like a Vampire Lord on an Abyssal Horror, Abyssal Terror, Horror, whatever they're called. Dug out my Age of Sigma undead army. Because I was going to do my chaos. I was going to recreate my chaos tournament army that I used to play with, which came like third and fourth at grand tournaments and stuff like that. It was pretty good. I was going to recreate that because I was like, I want to. It's not going to be like tournament level anymore, because I'm just going to sort of recreate the list. I looked at the list and it's broken. I think it's better than it was in tournament now because it's mostly chariot. And chariots in the new system, especially Chaos Chariots, very good. But yes, looking to either rebase it or custom adapter it or something. Or maybe just 3D print a new army. I think, at the moment, that's my only truly official Games Workshop stuff. Everything else is sort of 3D printed and third-partied. Yeah, so people are genuinely excited by the interaction system updates and EVA updates because they are so much better than what we have in the game at the moment. They are the Squadron 42 ironed, polished, and refined game features that we want in game in a final product, and they obviously need to iron them further. And it's going to be slightly different with their implementation in the persistent universe, as it's slightly more complex because there's more items and more things, and it's a much more diverse, dynamic environment than Squadron, because Squadron, they can sort of know everything that could happen, right? It's a much more enclosed environment, safer environment for them to develop in, whereas the persistent universe, vast and emergent gameplay sort of is a thing. It looks great. Genuinely looks great. Super excited for it. That's right, Subby Yeti. I appreciate your honesty on the subject. I know you're not. I obviously chat to you about it as well in private. Feel free to vent here to a degree in chat. Sometimes I encourage people to talk about Star Citizen and their Star Citizen experiences sort of freely. I love, the most part, love CIG. They get stuff wrong sometimes, and I suspect I won't love each individual employee there, but I think a lot of them are pretty cool. I've got lots of friends there. I love the game. I love the community. And warts and all, right? So with all of this, with development, everything, slow development times. They don't always get stuff right. They do stuff wrong. We hold them accountable to the best that we can, which is, well, for me, I'm super reasonable with it. So like, yeah, they'll teething issues, they'll get through it. So I give them a huge amount of leeway. But you're allowed to talk about that stuff. You're allowed to vent about it. It's totally fine. Well, that's what I want on the channel. Okay, so this is what it is. Thank you for being understanding. It's super important. I don't want anyone to come here, whether they're a Star Citizen troll or they hate the project or love the project or whatever, and feel like, oh, we can't talk about this because of white knights or black knights or whatever. So the whole range of Star Citizen conversation needs to be on the table, as long as you're doing that in a civil and reasonable way. If you're obviously trying to be inflammatory or you're just trying to be an ass, then that's a bit different, and I'm in charge on my channel and on my community. So I'll just go, no, I think you're being unreasonable or inflammatory just for the sake of it. I don't want to have that conversation. But for the most part, I want to have conversations with a wide variety of Star Citizen views and backers and stuff, because that's content for me, and people do not need to agree with me. I don't need to defend the project. It's not my job to defend the project. It's my job to talk about Star Citizen news and have those conversations, right? So that's the important thing to me. I've seen you for years. You've only been mad about this. Are you talking about Summer Yeti? Yeah, 100%. He's super reasonable. I left in 3.18 and came back in 3.22. I didn't think I'd be so positively surprised. Sometimes it helps to look back a few patches to see how much better it is now. Yeah, so this year, genuinely as well, should be fantastic for Star Citizen, bringing all of the refined and developed features from Squadron into the game. I cannot state how big of a change that will be from making the game feel clunky and janky and unresponsive to making it incredibly responsive and smooth and feeling a lot more seamless between transitions of animations and movement and combat and just all of that. The star map's trash, but again, the star map should be updated later this year, hopefully in 3.23. Don't know that for sure, but later this year, new star map. That's one of those amazing features. It's a feature we should have had since the genesis of the Persistent Universe. It's a much needed overhaul to bring it in line with what you'd expect with a AAA plus game. Because Star Citizen is AAA plus. That's what they're going for. They're not going for AAA. That is a quadruple A. Because they are giving it as much time and money as it needs, right? That's beyond AAA standards. And that's what I expect. I expect quadruple A standards. AAA plus, whatever you want to call it. People might say that's unreasonable. I do not think it is. I think that is what a lot of people will probably say that's you're overhoping that expectation. Well, that's the expectation I have based on the amount of time and money CIG have. And from what I see of what they want to do, that makes me expect it more. Right? So this stuff with the engine, the Maelstrom stuff you're seeing here, I think that looks absolutely fantastic with the ship breakability and all that sort of jazz, especially when it's going to be more refined, added to the current sort of combat and destruction pool. Now, technically, they could have all-terrain destructible, but I think it's going to be buildings, ships, and that sort of stuff destructible rather than all-terrain. So they'll bear that in mind. Won't be the ground, though they could have it destructible if they wanted to. I just think it looks fantastic. The CitizenCon last year, oof, amazing. And this year, Squadron 42 feature complete. It genuinely looks like they're pushing the boat out, and yeah, I think I had a couple of full playthroughs of Siege of Orison recently, and it worked really well. Some minor bugs, but I think that Siege of Orison would play a million times better if we had the player interaction system and some of those FPS updates and some AI sort of NPC updates. Then, oh, yeah, sign me up. it's quite possible the game will become what we discern as mainstream in the next couple of years, because I do think it's getting close to being picked up by big streamers that will then cover it, right? Because that's what you want. You want it to go, what's the current Star Citizen community? It's quite compact. It's quite focused. Not particularly mainstream. Niche. Although it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And there's obviously people are now going, oh, game not a scam. Game looks awesome. Still a long development cycle. But soon it's going to be, game is very playable. Why didn't people tell me about this game? Sort of thing. And you'll start to see that with a lot of those big streamers starting to cover it to some degree. And that was what catapulted it into the mainstream. And get a huge amount more players playing, right? Right, let's check. I haven't checked this chat at all. I apologise. Let's have a look at some of these questions. Happy birthday, Zin. So, Zin and my birthday, end of March. So, and we are going away. We go to a place to play board games and stuff, and computer games. Sort of have our own private LAN, PLAN we call it. So at the end of March, we'll be doing that for a week with a load of our mates. Will the hangars coming soon show all our ships stored side by side? No. No. So the idea with persistent hangars is basically it will either you'll take an elevator to where your ship is effectively stored and then use the freight elevators to bring in other vehicles, smaller ships, and cargo that you can then load on. But that will effectively have your ships in multiple hangars. I think that they might go down the route of bringing your ship up and bringing them down on elevators. They go, and it'll come up. That's the way I'd do it, so you could have the same effective persistent hangar. You'll almost certainly see new missions in 3.23, new maps, new modes for Arena Commander, updates to Master Mode, stuff like that as well. And my hand is much better. It's still not perfect. I've lost a little bit of a range of movement in it, so I can't fully grab with my index finger. I can mostly now. It's getting better. It will be getting there. It's so tender that it's not as bad as it was, admittedly. But like touching anywhere near it is like, oh, like poker. But yeah, I stabbed myself with a metal trowel in my finger and nicked the tendon. And blood went like across my face when I did it. So I was like, ooh. How confident can we be that it's at the end of March rather than the end of June for 3.23? We can't at the moment. We don't know for sure. So it's supposed to be a spring release. Technically, it's supposed to be an end of March release, but it's done when it's done. And they said it was going to be a spring release, which is between the end of March and just before the end of June. I very rarely have 30Ks now. I had one 30K over the last few weeks, and that was when I was playing Siege of Orison. Hyperspace and Hyperspace 2. Yeah, I backed the Kickstarter of Hyperspace. I really like it. It's Hyperspace, isn't it? It's the like a roguelike third person. Hyperspace. Hyperspace and Hyperspace 2 that I'm thinking of? Hoping for more Pyro playtests this year. About the year until I think they roughly said they wanted a summer release for Pyro and 4.0. I need to know if we can build ships for BPs. BPs? Blueprints? You will be able to build ships from your fabricators. So you will be able to build ships and items and gear and pretty much anything else you can think of, pretty much. And so at the larger scale ones, you will be able to build summer ships. Just to make it clear, we do appreciate you and Zinnia. That is very appreciated. Thank you very much. Are you going to change the ranks and roles in this RSI? What? If there was a Star Citizen board game, would 30Ks be used by Space Dungeon? Oh my god. So if you did Star Citizen as a board game, Star Citizen Alpha as a board game, yes, you'd have to have 30Ks, wouldn't you? Because you could do it at the end of each session, right? Go, and we 30K. And we'll leave it there. You could also use it to when you died and stuff, right? What's your favourite board game right now? So just played The Great Rule, which was generally really, really quite fun. I love Endeavour Age of Sail, which is sort of like a kind of strategic resource worker placement kind of game. I love Ark Nova. I love Beast. Ark Nova, build a zoo. I'm very good at terraforming Mars. But I prefer like Ark Nova and stuff. Terraforming Mars is very long for something I've played a lot, and yeah, I do like it, but don't get me wrong. Beast I love, which is sort of it's the only hidden movement game that I've played that I really like, and it's one of my favourites. One person's a big scary beast that and everyone else is trying to track them as a group and sort of hunt them down, whereas the beast is trying to complete objectives and occasionally isolate people to attack them. Everyone else is sort of trying to hunt them down, slow them down, put traps down. I'm just trying to find out where they are, and you're sort of running around the board. They can't see where you are. Keep on coming across your tracks. Oh, it's good luck. So yeah, stuff like that. And those sort of some of my favourites. Trying to think there's anything else I love at the moment. Enjoying Pandemic Legacy Season 1. So I've got halfway through that. Play that at the end of March. We should probably get that completed. Love sort of legacy games. I really enjoyed like Betrayal Legacy. I'm a lot more mellow with board games as well now. Sort of, I used to get very grumpy when rules weren't clear. But one of our mates, Kit, was very much sort of like, chill, story generator, let's all have fun, rather than needing to be super competitive or get the rules always perfectly right. But rules arguments are the most common arguments my group will have. When will Star Citizen get its Pal World pals? So Star Citizen is supposed to have pets. They are obviously working on animals at the moment, from space cows to star whales to the boreal stalker, which is the Microtech Yeti, to pyro crabs, the sort of Cthulhian giant crabs, and different scales of crabs, and Ranta, which are sort of like cave rats, I think. Cypheropods, sort of the Oni crabs, the sort of space boids and birds and rats and lots of different things. Pets are supposed to be a thing. Not sure. I suspect they'll be pretty basic, though. It's not going to be a hunting companion, more of an aesthetic. When does the new referral bonus program start? At some point this during the Lunar Festival, I believe. So it'll probably be from the 10th. Is it the 8th or the 10th the Lunar Festival starts? So in real life, Chinese New Year, I believe, starts on the 10th. But it's 8th or 10th. For the new, I think it's Dragonfly referral scheme. There is a post this month in Star Citizen. I could actually check that out. Goodbye to 2023. Hello 2024. Red Festival. 2954. Fly for free. February brings latest free fly. Referral bonuses. So Dragonfly referral bonus, Dragonfly and Red Alert armor sets. So I think that's a weapon as well. Yes, so Red Alert armor set is some cool red armor with undersuit, backpack, and shotgun. Referral bonus actually pretty good this time. I want to turn the Microtech Yeti. Maybe you can. They did say, like, briefly as well, animals-wise, you'll be able to potentially transport them, and you need the right atmosphere and stuff like that. Big old terrarium for a Microtech Yeti, right? Chillarium. Fridge. I haven't played the game for 6 years. Is it in a playable state? Yes. It's in a very playable state. There's a lot more of the game that needs to be there. And there are some fiddly stuff as well. So, it's still an alpha, but it's a very playable alpha now. And certainly a million times better than it was even a year ago. So, maybe a million times is a bit of exaggeration, but a magnitude better. But this year, a load of refined features come online, which will catapult the game into something that could genuinely be a lot more mainstream. Yeah, so I believe the referral bonus starts with the Red Festival. So between the 8th and the 10th, sort of starting around that. Yeah. I haven't got a date on when they actually 100% plan to start. Don't know why I've got between the 8th and the 10th in my head. But I do. And I trust my brain. Is there anything else? Jumptown's reopening late this month. Quartermore, Red Festival, so Quartermore, Valentine's Day, which is between the 10th and the 14th. Red Festival, which is mirroring Chinese New Year. I believe this year's technically between the 10th and the 25th, but do you think that CIG will produce all the things they promised at CitizenCon within the next 12 months? So they didn't promise, but they did say they plan to get it in-game. I do think they'll be able to get a lot, if not most of that, within this year. I do think they'll be able to hit a large portion of that. If you think they promised that, then I'm not gonna disagree with people that say that. I don't see it as promise. That they said that's basically the target and the plan, and I do think they will be able to hit a lot of that. What else have we got? Been following you for 10 years, and only a month ago realised playing words of your name. I know, right? It is intentional because we are supposed to do board games on the channel. Hey board, just an update on the Omega. Sent an email, but not sure if you got it. Feel free to send it to me again. Enjoyed your org interview. Will there be more? Yes, there will. Don't sell yourself a short board. I'm 5'7". I'm pretty short. Do you know how the game will work with role-playing orgs? Well, they'll allow you to do that, obviously. You can role-play. The same with any other game you can role-play, right? And obviously they've got loads of features to help with that, with base over IP and things like that as well. When will everyone else be able to play Pyro? Hopefully in the next play test, they'll open it up to a wider group. Obviously they plan to release Pyro this year, summer. Let's hope. Dev's doing well with Rastan, all the new locations. Many have no clear purpose. Some others clearly do. What's your thoughts on CIG bringing more purpose to these locations? Well, at the moment, I want them to create a load of locations and prefabs and parts of the modular system so they can create more and more locations and fill out the universe. So at the moment, it doesn't necessarily matter if they don't have a huge amount of purpose, because they will in the future. You can tie more stuff to them. So things like the depots and stuff that they're building. I want more. Give me more. Give me more tools. Give me more things. When is RSI going to add more chat options? Hopefully this year. Hopefully we'll get some org features as well. It would not be an org a org video. It would not be a BoredGamer video without NordVPN. Damn right. Haven't anything on further medical gameplay. Is it taking a back seat? So it'll get refined and they'll get some updates to it. You'll see some updates this year, most certainly. They showed some little minor updates at CitizenCon, and NPCs and stuff will start using meds and reviving each other. Of the things promised at CitizenCon, if you had to pick top 3 the game needs, what do you think they are? Star map / minimap updates. Engineering and resource management system, and the flight updates. And I'm going to say all, because the flight update stuff is super important with master modes, but also the atmospheric flight and the new quantum travel system, right? I'm going to have those. Best email address, contact@boredgamer.co.uk to get through to me. How late is the Star Citizen live stream going to start today? It'll be around 4, right? Let me actually bring it up on Twitch, because I'm going to end my stream when they start. Because I am going to... boop. Because I'm going to end my stream when they start properly. Because I want to upload what they're doing. So potentially 3 minutes, but it might be a bit late. We'll see. Yeah, really excited for 3.23. You know about Warhammer 40k? How about Star Citizen 30k? Well, it's Warhammer 30k as well. That's the Horus Heresy. Star Citizen, the Horus Heresy. Do you think there will be a time window for shipbuilding? Also, do you think there will be a physical representation of the build process, or do things pop into view? There should be some level of build process, right? Even if it's like 3D printed with lasers and beams, and it's going to be the same with outposts. It's going to be the same with fabrication, right? They'll probably show like a hollow view of the ship, and they'll start building it, something like that. No, Zin is her nickname. Zinnia, that is her nickname. She calls me Monkey because Monkey is my original gamer tag that I've used for many, many years. And Zin is not her real name. Zin and Zinnia is her gamer tag. And she knew me as I was developing the idea of BoredGamer. In fact, I met her because one of her mates was going to be the original channel aide when I started many years, around 10 years ago. Anything more on medical gameplay? So, medical gameplay for both on foot and in ships will get more and more developed. Obviously, they want the Apollo in game and all that sort of stuff, and the different tiers of beds, and for that to be important as part of Death of a Spaceman. Did you see the Space Tomato interview where a software expert and an network engineer expert say CIG is solving Dallas problems in PC science? No, I didn't, but I will check that out at some point. Hope everyone's doing well. RSI by Invictus. RSI Apollo by Invictus. Oh, good question. I hope so. So that would make the most sense for them to try and release the Polaris around then, because they would sell it and make a ridiculous amount of money, right? That would be a huge sale period for them. So I think that's probably what they're aiming for, right? I mean, even if they don't have it ready for them, they can go, we'll have it ready by the end of the year. This is the last time you'll be able to get it at this price. Something like that. They make a load of money. They said that the Endeavour will be the last ship they work on. So Endeavour is likely to be one of the last ships they work on, yes, because it's a complex, big science ship with a load of stuff going on with it. And it doesn't really connect with any of the other gameplays because of how complex each of the different things it does is or are. So star system wise, they've got roughly 120 planned. You'll see with like a Star Citizen Live 1.0 version, they probably have up to like a dozen systems, so like between 5 and a dozen. That'd be my expectation. They will finish the Javelin after Squadron 42. Right, Star Citizen Live is live. I'm going to leave you to either watch another person's stream of that or, well, yeah, I'm going to leave you to watch another person's stream of that. I was going to say we can watch it live, but I'm going to take notes and stuff, and other people will be more interactive with you than I will. But thank you very much, genuinely, for watching. It is appreciated. Hope you have a great day. Thank you very much for the subscriptions and the interaction and the donations and all that sort of jazz. It is always appreciated. Hope you have a great time.